It's always a good idea to keep things organized. Whenever you're working in After Effects. In this video, we're going to focus on how to keep things organized, especially in Project Panel. So go to the upper left portion of the interface and click once in the Project Panel to make it active. In looking at the different files we have in the Project Panel, you'll notice we have a bunch of different kinds of files. The first way to keep things organized is to use columns. If you go to the top portion of the Project Panel, notice I have the name column. If we click on that, it will organize itself from A to Z or Z to A. The next column over is Label. Labels assigns colors to a specific type of files. So if I click on the label column here, notice how the files are organized according to their label colors. I find it interesting that the JPEGs and the vectors art have the exact same label color. So I would like to change the color for the labels. For each one of these JPEG files. So I will click on the Blue Mountain JPEG. And I will hold down Shift and I will click on the Kemper Mountain JPEG. And then I will click on the labels next to one of these files. And let's change it to the nice bright orange color. Now they both have switched to orange. And notice the order has changed because we still have things organized according to the label column. If we click directly on the type column, you get an idea it's organized according to type. Now I'm going to double click on the word project in the upper left corner of the project panel to maximize that panel because you can access additional columns here just by control clicking or right clicking on the dark gray area here right next to the name. So here I'll go to the columns and notice I could set up any kind of information I would like to organize things by, like the in point or the out point, or the overall duration of the file. Now I don't want to use any of these, so I will go ahead and just click outside of that menu to hide it. And I will double click on the project panel one more time and make the panel smaller again. When you have multiple files selected, like I have here in the project panel, notice you can manipulate these files at the same time with one click. Like how we change the label color. Since these are both selected, I can also just click on one of those files and drag them down the new folder button. Here in the bottom of the project panel, and since both files are selected, I will let go and they will both end up in the folder. Notice the new folder is already highlighted. So I can just go ahead and name it and I will call this images. And press return. Now let's organize the video file. If I click on the road trip movie video file, sure enough there's a preview in my project panel. and add this to a folder, I will just click and drag down to the new folder button. And here we can call this footage. And notice, even though I'm using caps for some and lower for the other, it really doesn't change how things are organized, other than just the fact that they are capitalized or lowercase. Now, the last thing I want to create a folder for is the Summer Camp AI file. So I will click on that and drag it down to the new folder button. And here I can go ahead and name this vectors. Now, what happens when you have everything organized into folders, but you still want to be able to find these elements without having to open every single folder? Well, you can come up to the search area here in the project panel. So I click once in the search area and start to type the word camp. Any footage that has the word camp in it, it is going to pop up. Now, it's really important that you clear out this field. When you're done searching for things, so that you can see everything back to the project panel. When you're finished, now the last thing you might want to do is delete files. Like, let's say there is an image that you're not working with anymore. Well, here I will open the images folder and I will click on the Kemper Mountain JPEG and drag it down, not to the new folder icon, but over here to the trash icon. And when I let go, it's going to tell me, are you sure you want to remove this? Because it's being used in one composition, I'll go ahead and say delete. And notice when I do that, now the image has gone out of my composition. So if I didn't want to do that, I can just press Ctrl Z on Windows or Command Z on the Mac to undo. But now you know how to actually delete files in your project panel. Now I have to say, getting in the habit of keeping the project panel well organized is a very good way to keep your creative life pain-free as you continue on your journey as an After Effects artist.